Hello. On this little recording, I'm going to go through the seated version of the exercise stirring the beans. It is both sides quite a complicated exercise, but it's one that really shows us how our weight moving and our center turning can give us access, if you like, to these more complex seeming movements, and how important those factors are in all of the movements. So the starting point would always be, of course, we would need to practice the weight change from in the chair. That would be from our hips, about 70% to maybe 2/3 of your weight back in your hips as you sit here, and then the pelvis tilts forwards. You go to something like 50-50 or thereabouts, and then go back. Slight angling of the body, of course, the upper body. And the other factor is going to be the turning in the center. This in a chair is quite difficult, I think, more difficult than standing. It's always a temptation to twist your shoulders. So make sure you really are turning in the circle. So we'll do the movement with one hand and then with the other. It's a two-handed movement, this one, just to show you the full exercise. This is the seated stirring the beans. You can see we're using the body to pull our arms around in, I suppose, what you could call alternating circles. One hand withdrawing as the other hand pushes out. And that's the exercise. It's fairly straightforward to begin with. Just think about the weight moving, and with one hand, just hold your hand in front of you. You could even just put it down on your leg for a few moments, and as you go forwards and backwards, let the hand slide over the top of your leg. And just raise your hand up and extend out a little bit. Keep the elbows slightly bent at the end of the movement. Don't overextend. If you extend too far, you'll start to pull your shoulder out of line. So at the moment we're looking straight ahead, and now this time you go forwards and you turn. You come back, the hand draws in, and you turn. So first we make this quite a square shape. 1, go forwards. 2, you turn. 3, you come back. 4, you turn. Notice the angle of my body. 1, I'm looking forwards. And 2, I turn to the side. On 3, I come back and I'm still turned to the side. And on 4, I turn back to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you practice like this and gradually let your body get used to the movement. And let your arm get used to this feeling of being drawn around, and just let the movement round off. So it feels like you're drawing a circle, or if you imagine you've got one of these big gym balls in front of you, you're just rolling the ball around. Using your body to do this with. So a quiet feeling, as always, in your arms and your hands. And then we'll try on the other side. So hold the hand on your leg, sliding forwards and backwards just to get that connection into your arm. Pushing forwards, let the arm extend a little bit. And this is really just your elbow, the angle of your elbow flattening out a little bit, but never straight, remember. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm exaggerating these movements a little bit. Be careful when you turn that you don't pull on your back. And again, gradually letting the movement round off. Good. And then if we look at just the arm movements without the movements of the body, we hold our hands here. In fact, what happens is one hand pushes out and then it withdraws, and as it withdraws, the other hand pushes out. So very, very simple. If you look at it from the side, well, it's not a great position for me to be sitting because I've got the chair in the way, but you can see there how my hands push out. And if I were to just rearrange myself, if I were to keep doing this and then just add that movement of the weight and turn in on one side, and I come back on the other side. So I go forwards here, I turn, my shoulder pushes my arm out, and this shoulder, because I'm turning, the shoulder's going back here. I sit back, I turn, that moves the arms. I go forwards and I turn, and that moves the arms. So we can do that together. Again, we'll do it by numbers. So we'll start with pushing this side. That will be your right side if you're mirroring my movement forwards. So 1, I go forwards and I turn at the same time, and that pushes that hand out and across. And then 2, I come back. 3, I go forwards again and I turn the other way. And 4, I come back. So 1, pushing out. 2, coming back. 3, going forwards, turning to push the arm out. And 4, coming back. Don't try and do anything extra with your hands at the moment. Just give them a chance to get used to the basic movement that the body's producing for them. And I know it's not very much movement at the moment, but as you begin to get more used to the movement, you'll find that it will start to smooth off and flow more. And you'll get a little bit more movement with your arms. So 1, going forwards and turning. 2, coming back. You probably notice that your weight has shifted a little bit into this side. 2, you go forwards and turn. That moves your weight forwards and a little bit more into this side. 4, you come back. So 1, you go forwards, and the forward movement and the turning moves your weight forwards and puts you into the opposite side to the side of the hand that's extended. 2, you come back. 3, same thing on the other side, and 4. Notice that my arms are not doing very much at all at the moment, but gradually as I get used to that movement now, I can leave the numbers behind. I won't get quite as much weight shift. And the arms now begin to do what we did in practice a little bit beforehand, which is that they extend out and draw back a little bit more. And that gives you a slightly bigger movement with the arms. Stirring the beans. So remember how we got there. Weight moving forwards and backwards. The center of the body turning to the side and coming back. With one hand, we do it as a square movement. And we practice that until it's just quite natural for us to allow our hand and our arm to move through the circle. We did that on both sides, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Take as long as you need on each stage of this. Then we notice that the hands will move alternately out and back. And you may notice, if I can do this and I can turn my body, so this gives us the turn. And then we put all of that together, go forwards and turn and back. And then on the other side, forwards and turn and back. And we just keep practicing that until eventually movements become more subtle and moving from the center of the body, a little bit of weight moving, a little bit of a turn, enough for your arms to be sent round in these alternating circles. It's stirring the beings. Hope that's been useful to you. Have a go, take your time with the practice, and as always, enjoy your practice. Thank you for watching.